Has this ever happened to you? There has to be a better way. Well, not anymore. Introducing the server package that completely obliterates boilerplate code, replacing it with a single, sleek, well-maintained official package that you'd be proud to tell your mum about.
I'm so proud of you.
Not only does it handle cause and responding to silly request methods like options, but gives you a single interface to define exactly who can call this function. You get Supabase clients already wired up with the correct permissions for this specific user, or an admin client to perform server tasks. So let's take a look at this super simplified example of an edge function. Now, currently, if I were to invoke this from a browser, it would actually return an error. But can you see why? Okay, ignore the fact that I'm not actually returning a response at all, but this would also error because I'm not returning cause headers. So let's start by checking if the request is an options request and returning those cause headers, which we can import from the Supabase JS package. So we're back in a working state, but let's say we want to query our Supabase data, but only get back the data that this user who called this function should be able to see. So we need to know who this specific user is. We can pull that from the authorization header. And then if we actually do have a user, we create a new Supabase client using that bearer token, query a list of all of their tasks from Supabase, and then return that as the response of our edge function. So this will send an authenticated database query on behalf of the user that called this edge function. So we'll run against our RLS policies to determine which tasks they should actually be able to see. But what if we also want to perform a server action here? So send a query to the database, but not on behalf of our user, on behalf of our server edge function. Well, for that, we'll need to create a new Supabase client using our secret key to give us admin access to the database. So any queries that this client makes will bypass RLS. So let's send an insert query to audit the fact that someone accessed this edge function. So this is great. We now have a Supabase client that can make queries to the database on behalf of the user, and we have an admin client that we can use to bypass RLS and perform those server actions. But what if we want this one function to perform different things based on who is invoking it? So if we have a user, then we want to return a list of their tasks. But if we don't have a user, only then do we want to add a row that someone accessed the edge function. Well, that's going to take a little bit more thinking as to how we want to structure our edge function. And if we only want specific people to be able to invoke this edge function, so only if a user is authenticated should they even be able to call this function, well, that's going to take a whole lot more thinking and a whole lot more custom code that we're probably going to need to write over and over again throughout our application. Let's just use the server package instead. So now we have this withSupabase function, which we use to wrap the logic of our edge function. It does all that work we were talking about earlier. So we can just specify a list of the different types of users or systems that we want to be able to invoke this edge function. It then jams this context variable full of helpful things that we'd probably need to implement ourselves over and over again, like our authenticated Supabase client that's making requests on behalf of our user, or our admin client if we want to do that admin or secret stuff. And if we want to exclusively go down a separate path, if we have a user, then we can use this auth mode variable from our context, and then our Supabase client to perform authenticated queries on behalf of the user who has called this edge function. And then if this was called by another server or an admin user who knows this secret key, then we can use our admin level Supabase client to write things on behalf of our server. And then we can't actually ever reach this line because anything that's not specified in this list of allowed invokers will just receive an error saying that they are unauthorized. Now, a couple of things to call out here. This syntax may look a little bit different to your edge functions. You may be using dino.serve, but passing it this withSupabase function is exactly the same as returning this object with a fetch property. But this syntax is not only compatible with Supabase Edge Functions, but also Vercel Functions and Cloudflare Workers. So this is the pattern we would recommend going forward. The other question we've received many times is whether this replaces the SSR package. So no, It doesn't. They serve very different purposes. So use the SSR package anytime you're in a server-rendered or SSR environment. Essentially, if you want to use cookies to remember who that user is across the client and server of the same application, you want to use SSR. So with Next.js, you want to use the SSR package. You want to know who the current user is across client components, server components, proxies, server actions, so all the different browser and servery bits that makes up one Next.js application. And then the server package is what you would use for things outside of that app. So Edge Functions you want to run on behalf of the user, or other web application frameworks you may want to integrate like Hono or Express. For those, use the server package and check out the docs in the description for our official Hono adapter with more coming soon. If you want to just hit the ground running with a working Next.js app, then check out this video right here. We show you how to get started with the Supabase and Next.js template that already has all of the auth bits wired up for you, so you can start calling those edge functions and using the new server package immediately to keep building cool stuff.